Welcome back to My Clear Days, a channel solving the aging crisis facing our population across North America. To discuss the best seat in the house today, we have Jim, the CEO, back as always. Welcome, sir.
Kyle, it's always good to speak to you. And, as I hear your introduction talking about the aging crisis, it's a good way to start to remind our listeners that approximately 10,000 Americans turn 65 every day. That's a fairly known statistic, and that's going to continue for another 9 years, Kyle. What people don't realize, this has already been happening for 11. So we have 82 million people now who are in their mid 70s here in the United States, and they're in that prime spot when body starts to deteriorate a little bit. They need more care. So we think we're really well positioned to accelerate our platform. And one of our partners is a company called Toy Labs, TOILABS. You can see them at toylabs.com. I'd like to tell you about the best seat in the house, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. I think people are obviously waiting to understand what the best seat in the house is. And I think it's some pretty pivotal technology that really integrates into your business. So go give us the insight.
I'll be happy to. They actually call their toilet seat the True Loo, Trueelloo. And they are focused in the same space we are. There are approximately 54,000 residential care communities that take care of 3.5 million people every day. So let's give you a little bit of background from their website. You can check all of this out at toylabs.com. The smart toilet seat, so they like to call it a smart toilet. So the smart toilet seat offers a new level, and I'm reading this purposely, of monitoring by automated caregiver work tracking bowel movements and urinations in the privacy of a resident's bathroom. TrueLoo has shown to be, listen to this, Kyle, 100 times more accurate and timely than the current practice in identifying clinically concerning changes in output. They like to have a little fun with this. People watch what goes into their bodies, but they don't look what comes out. So here's how it works. The TrueLoo is an early detection smart seat. It passively monitors the wellness parameters and seeks to reliably track records and insights. Here's how you do it. Sit down, just part of your normal habits and rituals. Just like a standard toilet seat, no change in behavior. The TrueLoo will send securely and privately and gather health data, and they send the data for analysis. And then that data comes back to the community, and then if there's a action to be taken, we take it. Receivable, actionable, it clearly shows trends to help residents stay healthier in their community. So important thing, it's activated when the seat goes up. It's a seamless connection. Wi-Fi is required. There's an optical system that does not see any body parts. And in case this is a person who happens to be using the toilet and it's not the resident, there's an on and off button. We're very excited about it. We've had this as a test in our communities. Our press release a few weeks ago announced a formal relationship contractual with Toy Labs. We are very pleased with what they're doing. And if you want to find out more about them and how all this cool technology works, Toy Labs is TOILABS.com. Kyle, any questions?
Yeah, definitely appreciate the insights. Very clerical and also very intriguing to say the least. But do you want to talk about a few examples? Have you seen some tests within your own business?
Yeah, what we try to do is we use our innovation center to bring new innovations to residential care. And those innovations could be built by us, such as our software, ClearDay at Home. We could be partnering like we have in the past with our robotic provider and now Toy Labs. And we hope eventually some of those turns into, as typical, once you partner, if it's working really well, there might be an opportunity to actually bring that partner under the tent, so to speak, and be part of an acquisition. We get to know them, they get to know us. So real life case just happened. I was in Naples last week when you and I did a program, and just randomly the nurse, the director of nursing came up to me with her sheets, and she goes, "Jim, look at this." Now, I'm not an expert reading these sheets, but the thing jumped up, and I said, "Well, what does this mean?" And then with this report, we'll also have pictures. So she showed me a picture of what it took, and you could see a clouded water in the toilet. Now, we're not diagnosing. It's important to understand that. We're just having an awareness and monitoring in a different way. In the old school ways of monitoring, a caregiver, if they had the time, Kyle, would actually monitor the output in a toilet. But in this particular case, in day and time, there aren't enough caregivers to do it. Thus, you have a lot of things like UTI and other infections hitting these communities. Nobody wants an infection. Nobody wants a UTI, but it's particularly troubling for an older person. So she came here all excited because she saw a change. They immediately went right to work, they being our team, contacting the doctor. The doctor was sent a report. And from what I've understood since I've been back in San Antonio, he prescribed something for her. Within 3 days, this was cleared out. No need to worry about going to a hospital. And in our building situation, no more infection that would have possibly spread. So it allows the patient to have obviously a much better day. The operator doesn't lose revenue, and the caregivers are not stressed out having to, nowadays, when you have an infectious disease like this, you got to isolate people. And a dementia-oriented environment, Kyle, that isolation is very hard on the resident. We almost have to dedicate it, I hate to say it this way, a caregiver to be a babysitter to keep them company. So all in all, it was a great week thanks to Toy Labs Trulu.
Yeah, it's incredible. I definitely appreciate all this. And we'd love to know what the viewer thinks in that comment section below. And consider subscribing because as catalysts like this hit the wire, of course, we're going to bring it to you here. But on that, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.